The question whether a single test can accurately prove the complexity of a child's thought process is frequently debated. Wechsler Intelligence Scale for Children and the Sternberg Triartic Abilities Test are two of the different tests used to seek these results.
The Wechsler Intelligence Scale for Children is defined as a traditional single-factor approach to intelligence tests. It tests verbal comprehension and performance skills. Advantages of the Wechsler test are that it has been used for many years, which means that it is very well researched, and that it is also standardized. This test also shows a strong correlation with school performance and is useful in the academic setting. For example, this test could give a teacher a better idea of which students will most likely do well on tests requiring excel word and verbal skills, and which students will most likely excel in performance tasks such as speeches or presentations. However, this testing method does have some disadvantages. It is said that this test is culturally biased and also ignores the student's ability to be creative because it has a narrow range of aptitudes. Another disadvantage is that it does not focus on understanding the difference in children's information processing. The Sternberg Triarchic Ability Test differs from the first test because it is broad and focused on three main intelligences: analytical intelligence, creative intelligence, and practical intelligence. The analytical intelligence aspects focuses on one's ability to process and analyze information, while the creative intelligence measures how a child can compare new information to what he or she already knows. The practical intelligence shows one reacts and handles everyday commands. This test has three main advantages: measures range of ability, is culture-free, and shows the perspective of information processing. The disadvantage that the Sternberg Triarchic Abilities Test is that the test is newer and takes a long time to administer and score. That is a critical disadvantage because in today's world, how much time a task will take is a huge influence of choosing what to do. For example, many people would be turned off from this test because it takes so much valuable time. It is also not as practical because it is not easily standardized.
Because Ms. Anderson is looking for a test for placement and one that can easily be compared to other students, it is recommended that our child takes the Wechsler Intelligence Scale for Children test. This test is traditional, used in an academic setting, and can easily be compared to other classmates. It can also identify a percentile, which are the results that Ms. Anderson wants to receive. For example, if Ms. Anderson's child ranks in the 95th percentile, she instantly knows that her daughter should be in the gifted class.
For Mrs. Letterman, it would be recommended to give her son the Sternberg Triarchic Abilities Test because it is a non-traditional test that can measure a student's intelligence ability beyond traditional academics. This includes measuring a student's creativity. The Sternberg Triarchic Abilities Test helps one understand the specific ways a child processes information. For example, if the test shows that Mrs. Letterman's son excels at putting toys together and relating them to everyday activities, as a teacher you might include more constructive learning activities into the daily schedule. This is also an example of providing an alternative approach to problem solving that is non-traditional. Because Mrs. Anderson wanted a traditional test that could be compared to classmates, the Wechsler Intelligence Scale was recommended. However, Ms. Letterman was looking for a non-traditional test to understand her son's information processing. When choosing what type of intelligence test to have your child take, it is best to look at what type of results you are trying to achieve.